Fembot feels. Boyfriend hasn't spoken to me for 3 days. Sent him a text asking if everything is okay. He replies, "Spare me your pretentious sentimental absurdities. Just because my brain occasionally needs a brief respite from your inane babble does not mean anything is wrong. It is quite healthy for actually intelligent beings to, on occasion, seek solace via the company of those with a mental age above the average 4-year-old. Thank you, Anon. Very intelligent indeed." Hello Redditors of the internet, Noble Xenon here, and welcome to r/IAmVerySmart Part 4. Let's get started. That's surprisingly deep. And the big brain replies, "If this is deep, please for the love of all that is holy, get off the internet. r/you don't know," and I'm not gonna finish that subreddit because I don't want to advertise. This person's been everywhere on Reddit trying to advertise this subreddit, which is not gonna work. About what is deep. I bet you like those Instagram pages that are like follow for deep content, but if you want something deep, look up the compensation effect, not this surface level garbage. I agree, but you calling it out like this is way worse, like nobody freaking asked. Shut up and stop trying to promote your subreddit like this. For this next one, Vox posts, "You don't have to love Star Wars to dig The Mandalorian. Baby Yoda alone makes the whole show worth it." And the very smart person replies, "I had high hopes because of reviews just like this one. What all of them fail to mention is that it is a children's series, thus written as one. It's very one-dimensional and made to be extremely easy to grasp. If you're a kid, this is great. If you have kids, it's something you can watch with them. That's easy and appropriate. If you're a grown-up, it helps if you're a bit slow and unimaginative because not even the Teletubbies are as predictable. Only agree on Baby Yoda, 3 out of 10. And continuing on the theme of Star Wars, this next one's title, "If you understand physics, Star Wars should no longer be cool to you. Doesn't look real if you understand physics, lol." Bruh, I'm just talking about like in terms of animation, it looks really good. It looks like a Star Wars cutscene. Calm down, buddy. Ever heard of suspension of disbelief? Physics don't have to be exactly like they are in the real world. They just have to be consistent within their own fictional universe. Elon Musk, I hope you still have some positions open in SpaceX because Elon, get this man a job. Elon tweets, "Mars, here we come." And the big-brained individual replies, "So we're not capable of exploring 80% of the ocean because of extreme conditions, but Mars, here we come? So what you're telling me is that the conditions underwater are much harsher than they are in outer space? Elon, get me a job. I know stuff." Well, damn, Elon, you probably don't even need the interview. Just hire this guy right now. Nobody. Silence. The cat's in my neighbor's driveway. And the reply, "I get what your joke is implying, and I do think it's a very good joke, but I can't help but notice the fact that nobody's silence implies that nobody is being silent, and therefore the joke falls apart. Otherwise, very funny joke. I congratulate you on how funny it is." Although, to be honest, those nobody memes are kind of overused, especially on YouTube comments. This next one's titled, "Someone asked a question about height and was thoroughly enlightened. How does a 5'2" person look next to a 6'2" person? You don't want to know how a man shorter than another man by 12 inches looks next to the taller man, both in other men's eyes, of women, and of the taller man. This is about human biology. Taller men run faster and stronger men overcome enemies and natural disaster easier so that their females, granny, mom, sis, and daughter survive these challenges of life. It is not about looks, but about females' lives. And even in a battle of two men, a shorter and thus weaker and taller and thus stronger, the taller and stronger will prevail. So please listen to my advice above and employ your other strengths, which is obviously not your body height and strength, but your brains and knowledge. Concentrate on that and your charm. In women, thou, how tall one is, has almost no meaning. It's for them all about the face, how pretty it is, their hair, and their breast size. Our brains play little role, but I have succeeded in making myself look more attractive in intelligent men's eyes by solely the virtue of my relatively pretty face, gorgeous curly black hair brains, and superb— why did I read that as black hair brains? Probably meant black hair comma brains, but forgot the comma, and superb knowledge in almost all fields but math, engineering, and chemistry, but I know a lot about theoretic physics of the universe and its origin, and by the way, I'm an atheist. Also, the way the lines are set up made this really confusing to read, like the line structure and the sentences don't line up. This next one was on a post, making fun of people feeding their dogs a vegan diet, which I do not recommend by the way. Video spoiler, they were actually feeding rabbits, not dogs. Okay, thank goodness. Ha, I recognize that no dog could eat this right away. I mean, you were wrong, but it's not really your fault you're not as smart as me. I'm not trying to piss you off or anything, but there's a very good chance that I'm smarter than you. When I was in the 2nd grade, I took a test called the COGAT. COGAT is short for Cognitive Aptitude, in case you didn't pick up on that. Basically, it tests the cognitive skills of millions of 8-year-olds throughout the United States and ranks you accordingly. I scored in the 99th percentile, the genius level. Ooh, watch out for Einstein over here. My teachers were so impressed they had me take an IQ test. I received a score of 143, the absolute intellectual elite. By the way, get this person an application to Mensa and then skip 2 grades. Break it down for me because I'm still not getting it. It's statistically unlikely that your brain can compete with mine. I'm kind of a rare person, so don't expect me to pretend I think down on your level. I'm not gonna go easy on you just because you're not as smart as me. This is your one and only warning. All I can say is you don't want to mess with the mighty mind of this individual. Moving on before this mind's power completely overwhelms me. For this next one, this person really broke out the thesaurus for a tweet. We all experience phenomena every day which, if further questioned by whom, could completely reshape our reality. The hard part is noticing the unexploited aspects of such reality and having the courage to potentially sacrifice aspects of yourself in the process, for posterity. This next one's titled Under a Breaking Bad Video. Seriously? This episode slaps, no other way to put it. And the other person replies, is slaps the slang the low IQ crowd are using these days? And what exactly does using slang have to do with IQ? This next one writes in standard academic prose on frickin' Facebook. Specifically about impregnating Homo sapiens. Men are instinctively programmed to impregnate as many women as they can. And my post was written in standard academic prose as would be found in a textbook. I didn't mention social influences, I wrote only about mammalian biology, specifically that of Homo sapiens. Ah yes, he thinks he's so educated, focusing so much on the grammar, but where are your sources? Just goes to show that a lot of these people only worry about sounding smart and not actually being smart. We go to Quora for this next one regarding an assignment for the IB program. I took standard level and got a 7 in the end. Not sure how IB graded my paper, I never checked the specific, but my teacher gave me a 16 out of 20 on the paper. My paper was entirely on complex analysis, half of it being on the algebra of complex numbers, with the other half being differentiation and integration of complex functions. I wrote it up in 2 weeks start to finish, starting as soon as I figured out it was due in 2 weeks, lol. Albeit, I had taught myself most of the material well before I began. I lost 2 of the marks for personal engagement. My teacher insisted you cannot be passionate about or engaged in math itself. Not sure if IB felt the same. 1 for communication. My teacher hadn't learnt most of what I was talking about in his education, and I had to lecture him on the basics of complex analysis for nearly an hour. And you should do the same if you think this will be the case. And 1 for reflection. Being a gifted student, I had hubris and insisted that my purpose was to teach rather than to learn much from the experience. This next one's titled, "This security expert from my Facebook feed sure set this bank worker straight. Me, I'd like to withdraw some money, I forgot my card. Bank, okay, do you know you can use the app for that? Me, yes, I choose not to. Bank. Okay, how much would you like? Me. 20 pounds. Bank. Just to let you know, in the app, me. I know. I just choose not to. Bank. Okay, do you have ID? Here you go. Bank. The app will... Me. I know. Your app also uses both fingerprints and facial recognition. You see that advert behind you? It says biometric security is the strongest kind of security, right? Bank. Yes, because... No, it's not. What if someone steals my password? What should I do? Bank. Change it and check your statements for unauthorized transactions. Me. What if someone steals my face? What should I do? Bank. You can't steal... Yes, you can. My face is available on Facebook. There is very cheap tech out there that will allow a 3D scan to be made of my face with those photos. That can be used to build a bust of my face, and it has been shown that these can fool facial recognition. You don't need to peel off my face to trick a computer into thinking it's my face. And what if someone gets a hold of the sequence of numbers generated by that face scan? Then they don't even need my face. Bank. I suppose so, but... Me. So what do you propose I do if someone steals my face? I can change my password. It's much harder to change my face. Bank. I see. How much did you want? Security isn't complicated. It just needs some proper thought, but even banks can't get it right. Now, if this happened, which I doubt it did, then you can just say your concerns about security without having to bother a bank teller. Also, if he was so worried about security, he wouldn't be posting on frickin' Facebook. The best answer to the question, why do you talk to yourself? It's the only way I can guarantee an intelligent conversation. Or maybe no one wants to talk to you because you think everyone else is stupid. This next one's titled, Poor Guy is just too smart for people ever since acquiring that intelligence. I miss how holidays felt when I was younger. And the big-brained replies, I miss talking to people before acquiring mass amounts of intelligence. And there's apparently 2 big-brained individuals in the room because someone else replied, I feel ya. And now we have another one from the local bar owner. We're gonna need someone to clean up that bar. No, it's not because someone had a little too much to drink, it's because someone threw up a thesaurus. To be unequivocally enhanced through modern illustrations and decipherings will ultimately lead to just causation of inferior technological regressions. What? And for this last one. Sure thing, Red, you're in college, but you spend your free time insulting feminism online through your troll account in caps lock. Blue says, you're an anonymous account with a crappy username, don't try coming for me. Also, my opinion does matter, LMAO, you know I was right. And the big brain in red replies, haha, I know it took you a minute to spell anonymous. Lol, I'm actually in college with a 4.2 GPA and I'm almost done with my political science major. You probably don't know what that is. Basically, bring up something political and I know more than you. Anyway, I'd like to thank all of my patrons, especially Benjamin, Spoonie the Rogue, and Seth Southwell. You can join in the link below, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. If you have something interesting to say, don't forget to comment. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. See you guys next time.